Are you thinking about using a focus group discussion as a qualitative research method? If so, take 10 minutes to go through this guide. We'll cover everything you need to know, starting with an introduction to the method and when it's most effective before walking you through the process step by step. By the end, you'll be fully prepared to run your first focus group discussion and analyze the results with confidence. And now, without further ado, welcome to Shribe. What are focus groups in qualitative research? Focus group discussions were first used in market research and later adopted in sociology. Today, they're a recognized and versatile qualitative research method applied in a wide range of fields. In a focus group discussion, you, as the researcher, bring together a small group of experts to discuss your research topic, with you acting as the moderator. What makes this method unique is its ability to generate a rich variety of interpersonal interactions in a short amount of time. These interactions can uncover more detailed background information than one-on-one interviews typically provide. This method isn't limited to a single group. You can organize multiple groups with different participants or reconvene the same group at various stages of your research. Unlike observations, focus group discussions take place in a controlled setting that you design. The discussions are collaborative, encouraging the exchange of new ideas, opinions, and reactions. The aim isn't to spark heated debates, but rather to foster thoughtful and meaningful dialogue. When are focus groups useful in qualitative research? Focus group discussions are flexible and can be applied in a variety of scenarios. You can develop theory on a new topic or phenomenon. Focus groups are especially useful when exploring a relatively new topic with an exploratory approach. This involves relying less on existing knowledge or theories and using the discussion to develop new ideas or theories. Remember, in research, we often separate data collection from data analysis. Focus groups are a classic data collection method for gathering your own insights. Then you can research group or team dynamics. For example, if you're studying how a new software tool impacts team dynamics, you could organize a focus group where participants test the software together and share their real-time experiences, rather than interviewing each member individually. Focus groups are also great for evaluations, assessing how well something works and whether it achieves its intended purpose. Artifact? What does that mean? An artifact could be anything: a robot prototype, a learning app, a dietary guide, or even a theoretical framework. You could also use focus groups to evaluate a definition or model you've developed. In all these cases, focus groups can provide deep insights. Let's look into how you can conduct a focus group discussion in 7 steps. First step: select the right participants. The ideal size for a focus group is 6 to 8 participants. The group should be small enough for everyone to share insights, yet large enough to provide diversity of perceptions. Smaller groups rely more heavily on individual expertise, since each participant needs to contribute more. However, smaller groups may lack diversity in perspectives, which you should address in your research discussion. Select participants who bring relevant expertise. The goal isn't random sampling, but purposeful sampling to identify the best candidates for the discussion. Together, participants should represent a broad spectrum of perspectives on your research topic. Then, you have to create the right setting. The setting of a focus group can significantly influence the conversation. Traditional methodology books often emphasize physical arrangements, like seating layouts. Today, tools like Zoom have expanded the possibilities. While virtual discussions may lose some of the group dynamics found in face-to-face settings, they allow you to gather experts from anywhere, potentially enhancing the quality of your group. Choose between a physical or virtual setting based on your research needs, and consider the pros and cons of each. Virtual discussions are now widely accepted and can be just as effective. Before we dive into the next part, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. It really helps me out a lot. The next step is to prepare for moderation. Like qualitative interviews, focus group discussions benefit from a clear guide. As the moderator, it's your role to steer the conversation. Henning describes this process using a sandglass model. Start broad, introduce the topic, provide context, and thank participants. Ask for consent to record and answer any questions. Conduct a brief round of introductions and ask participants about their prior experience with the topic. Dive into the core of the discussion, asking prepared questions or assigning a collaborative task. Conclude with reflective or follow-up questions to address anything that wasn't discussed earlier. If you're working with a team, now's the time to brief them. Sometimes it makes sense to have two people running the discussion. One person moderates while the other supports by taking notes. If you're organizing multiple groups, you might need additional moderators. In that case, make sure they're properly briefed and familiar with the discussion guide. The second point is about providing materials. If your focus group involves an interactive task, you might need supplies like posters, markers, or sticky notes. For virtual settings, you can use tools like an online whiteboard, Google Jamboard, for example, to achieve the same effect. In the final step, you conduct and record the interview. On the day of the focus group discussion, it's best to have two recording options ready, just in case one fails. I usually record audio on both my phone and laptop at the same time. If possible, consider recording video too. It can be a valuable addition. Make sure you're familiar with data protection rules for recordings and handle the data responsibly. Store or delete the recordings in compliance with ethical guidelines to avoid any issues with your university's ethics committee. It's also a good idea to take notes during the discussion. These can provide valuable supplemental data for your analysis. The primary data source for your analysis will be the transcript of the discussion. This means either typing out everything verbatim or using a transcription tool to save time. Your dataset will include the transcript, your notes, and any creative outputs from the group, like posters or other materials. Once you have your data, it's time to move on to analysis. At this stage, we're stepping beyond the focus group discussion itself and into the broader research framework. The method you use for analysis will depend on how the discussion fits into your overall study design. Common approaches include grounded theory, thematic analysis, or a combination of coding techniques. This would be the perfect opportunity to explore an in-depth guide on the analysis method that best suits your research.